Welcome back to round 2 action. It's been a fun morning, but a pretty heavy one for the top-seeded surfers. Kelly Slater just broke that streak, and a top-seeded surfer just took out Ryan Keanu. Now it's up to Italo Ferreira being in that top 10 picture to kick off the year. He's had a little bit of a slide, and we always know Keanu Asing is in there for a fight. We saw that amazing tenacity from Keanu over at the Billabong Pro Tahiti, calling himself an underdog, but he said he's always going to go down swinging. What he always is going for the win. During for the break, we had Keanu get a quick wave box.
Yeah, you know, Keanu Asing, probably one of the most nuggety guys on tour, so powerful. You know, he's got a bag of tricks as well, but uses that rail game. You know, he surfs bigger than he is, doesn't he, Joe? I mean, he looks like a 6-foot bloke, but, you know, just a sort of a short guy, but so powerful. You can see this wave just stretching out for him, just offering him a lot of open face, a lot of opportunity to rattle off a bunch of turns. So Keanu Asing draws first blood, puts a score on the board, and I'll tell you what, he's going to have to light it up because he's got Italo Ferreira, who's probably one of the best backhand surfers on tour.
Ferreira already halfway down the beach on this lowers right, going to town, just blitzing sections, multiple majors all the way down the line. We'll bring you that wave from start to finish in just a moment here. But it's a great clash from former Rookie of the Year and Keanu Asing, who qualified at the same time. And they have completely different skill sets in comparison. Ferreira already putting himself in a world title hunt in his first year on tour. Keanu Asing trying to work through some better results. He's really made a few solid attempts at making the quarterfinals, but we always love the entertainment he brings because he is an absolute fighter. What do you think about Italo's win?
Well, you know, a little bit bumpy on the face, but Italo Ferreira is such a strong kid. He's got that wide stance. He doesn't fall off a lot. He's got great technique, and he's got power to boot as well. Super light on his feet, yet so powerful. You can see just racing down the line there. Doesn't quite get around that end section, but did a lot of damage. A bit of a bigger wave than Keanu Asing, so it's going to be interesting to see where the judges go with this to sort of get your breath back and you know, compose yourself again. But when you've got to do this race out the back, I mean, this is going to take a lot of energy out of both of these guys.
Look at this race continuing. It looked like Keanu had a good edge to start. Italo kind of has this inside position now and still with some room to move. They're looking back up here and there, waiting for the judges to call an end to this race. They're going to make them earn it all the way back out to the takeoff spot. Meanwhile, scores are in. Asing 5.17, Italo 7.5. We have as well, Pete, and thank you very much, former world champ Barton Lynch, for the breakdown. It's always so surprising when you see so many top seeds crumble in very rippable conditions this morning. Potts, we woke up and we couldn't wait to get started. Sets were pouring through. These guys are getting a lot of opportunity. Things are changing towards the back end for the guys that need the best results. During the recap, we had Keanu Asing get away.
Yeah, this one, it kind of ran away from Keanu. I mean, obviously breaking, you know, fast down the line, going for that upside down club sandwich. Unfortunately, not pulling it off. 3.43, so it does put him in the lead, ever so slightly. Italo Ferreira just needing a 1.10. Time is ticking away, 16.45. So, got to really manage that time as well. You know, you heard Barton talk about how well Kelly managed his heat. You know, with the priority, the wave selection. And I think on a day like today, when you've got this flurry of waves and then you have these long periods of no waves, you've got to be really smart.
Spinning around quickly for this wave is Italo Ferreira, driving hard off the lip. Great start for last year's Rookie of the Year. Got a whole lot of wall to work with, and he'll keep jamming some big turns right into the power source. Now this inside is stretching out. It's going to give him an end section to work with. Multiple majors. He'll just clean it up with a nice little off the top to finish. Now the Hawaiian heading down the line. Tail blow off the lip. Big, powerful, rapid cutback, and he'll climb the end and fall down. So Keanu opened with a 5.17, 3.43 on the miss attempt on the grab rail reverse. Then you have Italo on the other hand, a high single 7.5, and he'll be getting a solid second score.
That he will. You know, two different approaches there. You watch Italo Ferreira's approach, and you know, he's just silky smooth and yet powerful. But Keanu is sort of like a sense of urgency, really. Looks like he's trying a little too hard. He's not finding that flow as much. Jamming that turn there, that was beautiful, but then gets sort of caught behind, doesn't finish off this wave, which you really got to do. A little bit of a bobble on the bottom right there. So to beat guys like Italo Ferreira, watch how smooth and confident this guy is in his technique. You know, radical, smooth bottom turn into that top turn combo. So Italo Ferreira believing in his ability, believing in his technique, and knowing that he's just got to finish these waves off to get those good scores. Keanu Asing, on the other hand, it's like the sense of urgency is creeping in, and these little mistakes are starting to show.
So you see that tack sharp form and rhythm from Italo Ferreira, picking off the solid waves, surfing him well for a solid finish, backing up the 7.5 quickly. We found out a lot about Italo Ferreira through Jadson Andre before he qualified. He kept telling us about this kid named Italo that was just going to shock the world. And he ended up shocking his mentor, Jadson, last year. They had so many one-on-one matchups in their first year together on tour, and Italo just kept dominating that rhythm and turned in a top 10 season right out of the gates.
Rookie of the Year, number 8 in the world. I mean, that was amazing from Italo Ferreira. We're expecting to see him surf really good in the smaller conditions, but he really did turn it up in places like Cloudbreak, Chopu, and even Pope.
Amazing rookie performance from Ferreira. Still 14 on the clock. Last wave for Ferreira, 8.60. So round 2, heat number 5, still with some time on the clock, but Fanning coming up next to take on Matty Banting. Ferreira wants to ramp up on the left. If it gives it to him, he'll just do a big tail blow on the open face and kick out. What a fun way to stay warmed up and ready to go, Potts.
Come on, Joe, you got a lot of inside info. What do you reckon Mick's going to do?
Mick Fanning is looking so sharp and focused. It's so hard to question what he's going to do because he hasn't made an official statement for next year if he wants to compete for another world title. It's impressive, though, just taking it easy this year and still winning events.
Watch this turn from Italo Ferreira. I mean, that is just total confidence right there. With your equipment just jamming that tail, you can see that wind starting to affect the left. So we're kind of looking for him to go to the air on that occasion, but just deciding to gouge the front side turn. Keanu Asing's got to answer back right here, looking for a 9.90. Huge score.
Keanu Asing, setup work, solid stance off the bottom, and a big, powerful, drawn-out carve to kick this one off. Flying through the whitewater section and tagging it off the lip. Asing now will get out in front on the inside corner. Well-surfed wave, still with some room to move. Here comes the end section and just hacks it shut. So the Hawaiian's starting to fire back. Started with a 5.17, built to a 6.2. So he's heading the right direction.
That he is. I don't think it's going to be that 9.90 that's required. I think he's going to have to break that down into 2 waves. 5.17 though, I think, is in jeopardy of being eliminated. I think he's going to increase his score line and chip away at that lead that Italo Ferreira's got.
Italo not sitting still. Already has a lot of speed. Blow tail reverse to kick things off. And he'll slip off on the inside. So last 2 wave for Italo, just single maneuver sections. Counting his big start of a 7.5 and an 8.6. And Keanu just playing that working man's game, building on his score line and going blow for blow. It's kind of fun when you see the seeding work out this way, Potts, where you have back-to-back matchups. Keanu got Italo at Chopu. Let's see if he can come back in this one.
This first turn, I think that's where all the points are going to come from. Just strong, solid surfing from Keanu Asing. And this is a lot better. You can see he's taking his time with the wave. He's not trying to oversurf it. He's just doing exactly what the wave's allowing him to, making sure he connects the dots and finishes off nicely right there. Could have gone to the air, but realizing he was on his way to a fairly good score. So needed to finish that one off, which he did. Italo Ferreira, on the other hand, he's got 2 good scores, so he can afford, he's got the luxury of being able to light it up. How did he pull that off? His foot slipped a little bit too far forward, which then put him a little bit out right there and goes down. So scores dropping for Keanu. He's going to improve his score line slightly.
So looking at the numbers, it's a 5.77. He got rid of the 5.17, but the requirement for first remains the same.
Found that extra second wind and got into the lead, got that priority. Therefore, he was out the back waiting for the right wave. Right now, you can see him on another beauty, coming off the bottom, straight up into the bowl, smashes away. He's just going to continue to belt it. You see that seamless surfing, 3 turns in a row, nothing in between. That's what the judges love. Another one all the way down the line, and he's going to finish off on the corner. So great surfing right there out of Italo Ferreira once again, finding pace, and that's what it's going to take.
Well, Strider, we're noticing some texture on the ocean surface. How's this wind affecting our lineup at this stage?
Well, this is the traditional wind here at Lower Trestles. In Southern California, you'll see a nice northwest sea breeze coming through, and that is basically what we usually have. With that, the second and third wave of a set will be nice and smooth, and that's what they're after, is that nice, clean face of every wave.
Thank you very much, Strider, for the insight out in the water here at Lower Trestles. Setting up this replay is Italo Ferreira getting a keeper here, Potts.
Well, 7.50 is what he's got to better. As you can tell, a lot more bumpy on the face of the wave, but Italo Ferreira is so strong, so solid off the bottom, and he's just connecting the dots beautifully on this occasion. I think it's going to be close. I think that 7.5 is going to still stay there. But Italo Ferreira just showing that he's just going to keep rolling the dice, keep just trying to, improve his situation, put a lot more pressure on Keanu. Roll the dice right now, improve his situation, and then somehow try and get back out.
Let's see how Italo Ferreira got out in front. Remember, when you qualify together, you're in a Rookie of the Year race. You basically stay rivals for your whole career. Asing upset Italo at the last event of the season at Chopo. And now this one, Italo wanted some quick payback. Started so strong, 7.5, 8.6. That's one of the best two-wave starts of the day.
Absolutely right. We don't doubt it. I mean, I'm not surprised one little bit with Italo's performance out here. Just super clean, super powerful, and then just being in the right place at the right time. Having priority when those good ones come through, but then having to surf them. I mean, that bottom turn, top turn combo at the moment is looking as good as anyone out there. But then he's just got that power as well. I mean, look how much water gets thrown out the back of the wave. He's not just tapping the lip, he's literally tearing it to pieces.
Unbelievable performance from Italo, just nice and casual on his approach. It just seems like he's cruising through these moves and then just explodes off the top, letting the wave be the hero. Keanu Asing is always so powerful. His high score is 6.2, which is keeping him in the game.
You know what, just watching these two waves back to back, Italo's turns are a lot longer, a lot more drawn out, and I think Keanu's turns a little shorter, a little snappier, and I think he's got to try and set that rail and maybe get 2 or 3 big solid turns back to back if he's going to have any shot at winning this heat. Yeah, well, this is a quiet year for Mick, apparently a year off, but he's still up there, isn't he? I mean, he's still one of the best guys in the world.
Italo Ferreira looking to wind up, tail throw towards the beach. Easy landing. And he might be just taking this one all the way through. Still a minute 25 to go. And he'll give Keanu Asing the lineup. Ferreira looking for a big result here. His one final last season was in Portugal, where he finished runner-up to Felipe Toledo. And that surfer in the water, that's Fanning, already waiting for the start of the next heat. So Keanu Asing really all alone. He's got priority, but he needs a 9.9. The Hawaiian's going to go for it here. Driving through that first point, blows the tail out. He's going to try to recover through the inside. Little layback power punch off the top. Drifts one off the lip and ends up throwing away the finishing move. Keanu Asing ends up losing the rematch against Italo Ferreira. Sometimes you see these little rivalries start to build on tour, and this one's going to be a great battle through the back end of the season. Ferreira getting one back on him, and he just look at his dream start, 7.5, 8.6, and he really didn't look back.
No, exactly right. Put the pressure on from the get-go, and that's what you got to do. And it made Keanu sort of try and oversurf his waves to try and get those scores. And I think once you hear the beach commentator tell you need a 9.90, you kind of realize you've got to crank it up, and once you start doing that, mistakes will start coming.
So now another round 2 loss that we're thinking about for Keanu Asing. That's an equal 25th, as he'll be focusing for the European leg of the season. Round 2 action continues.